My name is Mansoor and I speak the cow poop you all been talking about just out loud. So let's watch Candace Owens. Watch this video.
When people call it, this bastion of freedom, or it's just like America, that's not the sense that I had when I was there. And again, we had talked earlier on about how our own experiences obviously color our opinions. And I grew up, at my grandparents' house. My grandfather grew up in a segregated South. And so when I'm walking through Jerusalem and they say these are the Muslim quarters, this is where the Muslims are allowed to live, that doesn't feel like a bastion of freedom to me. So I guess.
Oh, I don't think it's where they're allowed to live in Jerusalem. I think it's that there's an Armenian quarter. It's not saying the Armenians can only live here. It's that there are communities, just like there's a Jewish community in Jersey here, and there's a Muslim community in here. I don't think, to my understanding, it's not restrictions within Israel proper of where Israeli.
I think it is where they have. I mean, at least that's what the rabbi who was taking me around. He said these are the Muslim quarters, so this is where the Muslims
live, but he didn't say anything about legally saying they cannot live in other places within Israel proper. I mean, there's Israeli Arab citizens that have full rights. Israeli Arabs.
I'm only talking about Jerusalem, so I haven't been to Tel Aviv.
She's trying so hard to hate the Jews.
Jerusalem itself as a city has a division in it where the Green Line divides, and there's East Jerusalem. That's maybe what he was talking about, not the Muslim quarter, but East Jerusalem. There's disputed territory within the West Bank and East Jerusalem that divides, and therefore they're under Palestinian authority or even other jurisdiction. But that's a different conversation as far as what those are. But Arabs within Israel, if you go to Israel, people would be surprised to see on every street sign Hebrew, English, and Arabic. You see a multicultural city. So I'm keep going a little bit because I'm curious in your experience in Jerusalem.
Yeah, no, and maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but I think it's worth talking because my understanding from the rabbi was that this is where the Muslims have to live in Jerusalem, and it looked very different from where.
I'm an Arab. I'm from Israel, and I'm living freely in Israel. So what are you talking about? You see, this is an authentic mujahideen outfit that I got from Afghanistan. Life was risked to get this outfit. Actually, this is a coffee mug from Gaza. Life was risked to get this coffee mug. You know what? This is a kafia from the West Bank. And this is a piece of art from Sudan. All these places that I mentioned, they have serious problems. They have real segregation, actually way worse. There is right now a genocide attempt happening in Sudan against the Christians. Why aren't you talking about that? There is modern slavery happening in these countries, Afghanistan, Iraq, all these places that are run by radical Muslims. Why are you not talking? Why are you not advocating for them? Why are you just always looking for any ridiculous excuse to make Israel look like the bad guy?
The Jewish people were living, and that, again, that could not be any fault of any person other than this is how they take care of their stuff, and this is the way that we take care of their stuff. But, it was noticeably a lot dirtier. It was noticeably a lot darker. And it just made me feel, as a Black American and knowing my own history, that this isn't freedom to me. Like, if you can't just decide, like, I want to live on that street or I want to live on this street, but maybe I'm.
While defending the real bad guys and staying silent for the people that really need your help, the people in Gaza, the people in Sudan, there is child slavery. Do you know how they call Black people in these countries that I mentioned to you right now? In all of them, Palestine, every Arab country in the Middle East. Do you know how they call Black people? Abid, which is an Arabic word for slave. Now imagine they were calling Black people in Israel slaves.
No, the Black, honestly, even the Black in Gaza, we treat them like shit. I want to be honest with you. This is the way. Like Rima, do you see her Rima, the Black girl, Rima? Her father is Black. We treat them like shit because you bring. We have an Arabic saying long time ago. If you buy the abid, buy a stick with it.
Wait, what? That's not funny.
Yeah, I swear to God, that's how we say it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you buy the stick because you leave him outside. You don't bring him inside the house. I'm not joking. Yeah, you don't bring him because he's gonna shit in your bedroom.
So it's our culture that they don't like Black people in Arabic culture.
There's a culture we know the abid, he will shit in your bedroom.
I don't respect that. I think it should be. I think that's.
Okay, all right. Now it's up to you. It's not about culture because we have experience with abid. Okay.
Yeah, but you make them abid. You make them abid.
Okay, he's an abid, and you bring him inside your house. Okay, and you're gonna go to your work, and you come back, you find you have a black kid. You wanna blame yourself or blame the abd? Yalla, you tell me.
Maybe your wife, I guess.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the wife. Okay. Now, okay, all right. You blame the wife. So you are a man. I bring you a girl sitting in your room, and you're not gonna touch.
But because it's not happening in Israel, you just stay silent. Because just like the old saying say, no Jews, no news. So let me tell you something, Candace. In Israel, there is Arabs. Like myself, there is Christians, there is Muslims, there's Jews, and we enjoy full democracy. I can live wherever I want in Israel. I can work in any job that I want in Israel. And in Jerusalem, when they have these quarters, it literally just means a neighborhood. That's the neighbor, that's the Italian neighborhood, that's the French neighborhood, that's the African neighborhood. That's just a neighborhood where people choose to live freely, enjoying full democracy and freedom to express and to practice their own religion. That is Jerusalem. But you walked in Jerusalem, and come on, you don't need to be a rocket science to know that what you said right now is a complete blood label. It's a lie. But you choose to believe it because it was some kind of a glimpse. And I think that's what's actually happening. You see, people like Candace and others who are probably very anti-Semitic and have a real issue against the Jews. But up until on October 7, when Hamas was live streaming themselves, doing all the terrible things that they were doing to the Jews, a real genocide attempt, the world, instead of condemning it, there was an overwhelming support for it. And what happened, a lot of real anti-Semites like Candace and others saw this opportunity and, whoa, I thought that you get completely canceled if you do these things, but look at that. People are just rising their head and saying that they support Hitler, that they think that the Jews have no right to exist, and that it's allowed to do whatever you want to Jewish women, Jewish children. And that gave a boost to a lot of these people to start speaking up their mind. A lot of people that were hiding their agenda before suddenly started speaking. Candace kind of grew through the conservative ranks in the US, playing on the African-American conservative, very Christian kind of image. And once she had the opportunity, she just couldn't stop. And since then, she just can't stop opening her mouth in every opportunity against Israel, against my Israel. Mind you, I'm an Arab from Israel, and I don't support what Candace is doing. It makes me very upset to see someone just bluntly lying to the people out there. You have such a huge platform, and instead of choosing to actually combat the real bad guys, you're choosing to bring your voice to combat the only Jewish state on the face of this planet and looking for every excuse to make it look bad. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of issues that we might have with Israel, like any other country. For example, I have a lot of criticism toward my own country. Why are they not teaching spoken Arabic as a mandatory core study in schools? Israelis should speak Arabic. Everyone in Israel. The same like Hebrew, same like English, because it's such an important language and it's such a good way to break barriers between people. Why are they not doing that? You know what? Here's a bigger one. What's happening with Qatar? Qatar has been funneling money into officials in the Israeli government. This is right now being investigated by the Shabak in Israel. What's happening with that? You know what, Candace? If you want a real good cause to go and just be, the Jeanne d'Arc, to go and be the Don Quixote and just go and fight for it, try to bring awareness to how Qatar is trying to manipulate and buy Western media, your universities in the US, governments all around the world, from Macron in France all the way to the Israeli government. Why is America sending so much money to support the Taliban? Why have Israel been allowing money to go to Hamas for so long? There's so many things that you can actually jump on, which some of them might actually criticize Israel, criticize America. So I'm not saying just be completely biased and just stand in everything that America and Israel do is just a holy cow. No, don't do that. But being so obsessed against Israel, against the Jews, to the point that you're literally making ridiculous claims as if Jerusalem is a racist city because they have an Arab quarter. There is an Iranian quarter, there's a Jewish quarter, there is many, many different quarters. It's basically neighborhoods. neighborhoods where people choose to live, and they have markets there, they have job, they pay taxes, and they enjoy all the benefits that you can enjoy in a democracy, things that you don't enjoy in Lebanon, in Syria, in Palestine, in Sudan, in Afghanistan, and anywhere else. So here's my point. Next time, I think we should stop, as a world, as a Western world, we should stop idolizing sorority girls and just airheads who have clearly no clue what they're talking about. And we should start listening to people that actually understand the Middle East, the geopolitics of the US, and whatever. Candace, what did she do? How did she become so famous and someone that people listen to? Like, seriously, can someone tell me what's so special about Candace Owens that people want to listen to her? Because every time that I hear her talking, it's mostly nonsense. Seriously. I've been trying to find very smart and intelligent things that she's said. I mean, she went and she interviewed the Tate brothers, and she was looking at them like as if she's some kind of cheerleader or in love with the quarterback. And then she started asking the Tate brothers. I'm talking about Andrew Tate and his brother. I don't remember his name. These people literally worked as pimps. There is videos of them beating up women in front of a live camera. They've said so many controversial things. Now, I'm not gonna go in right now, should they go to jail, should not, because let's leave that to the legal system. If they can prove it, they should. If they can't, they should go free. But she came and she asked Andrew Tate, what kind of advice does he give for a young American woman when they're looking for a man? Seriously? You think this guy is gonna give good advice about what does it mean to be a healthy father, a healthy partner, a healthy man? So that just shows you how morally bankrupt Candace Owens is and how she just jumped on the train of cheap popularity, just trying to make videos that will go viral. And we're living in a world right now which is very sad. There is about 7 million Jews living in Israel, a few hundred million living in diaspora. So it's a very small community. So if you stand with Israel, you're probably not going to get so much attention and you're probably going to get a lot of bad attention. So that's the right thing to do, but the not so popular thing to do. But if you start standing against Israel, oh boy, there's going to be so much coming your way of support, money, and I don't know what, which is a very sad reality. And we're seeing people fall in that. We definitely saw Candace, who big time fell in that. So anyway, guys, like I said, don't do anything stupid in general. Don't do anything that I would do. If you want to help support this channel, go check my Patreon. Do the like, subscribe, share, the whole shebang. It really helps this channel grow. And until then, guys, see you next time. And just don't do anything stupid and don't do anything that's not the right couple. And don't do anything that I would do. Dang it.